everyone, I'm Needlecraft Danny. This is Flosstube number 152, and I'm here after 2 weeks for my next update because last week I was on a work trip and therefore couldn't do a video. Considering it's been 2 weeks, I feel like I don't have that much progress and especially not a whole lot of different projects. But that's just the way it is sometimes, and I'm fine with that. And yeah, let's just go through everything and we'll talk about it. So 2 weeks ago, I did my video on Tuesday because on Monday I didn't have the time and I didn't stitch either, so I was fine with that. And on Tuesday, I then started with the next project in my rotation. For everyone who's new here or doesn't remember, because you watched too many Flosstubes, which I could totally understand, my rotation basically is randomly based. So I have a piece of paper for every one of my projects and I pull them out of a box randomly and I do 1,000 stitches on every project and then I move on to the next project. There are a few exceptions for that, like birthday stitching or travel stitching or WIPGO, stuff like that. But basically that's the rotation. Before my last video, I had finished with one project, did all my 1,000 stitches, and after my last video, I could then start in with my next project. The next project that got chosen was this one. I call it Raspberries. Basically, if you go to this website, you can put the website on English. If you search for Raspberries, you will find this project and all my projects, wherever I can find a link, they are always linked down below as well. And if you put in her name in the search bar, there will be a lot of similar projects to this one and all very pretty. So I needed 1,000 stitches on this one. And I decided to start in a new area to make it easy for me to count. And I basically did that leaf and a little bit more in those leaves down here because I still needed a few more stitches. So let me show you a picture of what it looked like last time here. And this is where I got to. So very, very, very happy with that. Yeah, as I said, I did stitch on this sleeve over here, completely finished that and all of those extra stitches just to finish up my 1,000 stitches. So right now I'm very I'm very happy with the way this part is coming together. So next time I stitch on this one and I don't have any specific goal in mind, I'm going to concentrate on those leaves over here and the rest of those raspberries to just move my progress further down. Yeah, 1,000 stitches, as I said. This is the 28 count linen that came with the chart. So basically, if you buy the pattern, there is the fabric in there as well. I'm stitching as indicated in the pattern, so that's 2/2, 1/2 full crosses, or 1/2 half crosses. So basically it's a mix of everything and it looks amazing. I'm so happy with that. I'm not quite sure. Yeah, I did the back stitching of this leaf. There wasn't a whole lot, so I did that. And it looks so amazing. I can't wait to get back to this one. This is also my travel stitching project, but I did not really have travel stitching time. No time at work. And while I was on my work trip, I took a few bigger projects with me to spend the time stitching on those in the hotel, and not this one. And I was happy about that decision. Needleminder, I did not tell you, is from Caterpillar Cross Stitch, and it looks so good. Can't wait to get back to it. And I talk about this one in plans for a bit because this will actually come up for WIPGO in February. But I'm talking about that in the end. So those are my raspberries. I finished my 1,000 stitches and then pulled the piece of paper for my next project in the rotation. And the next project that got chosen was Mini Cinderella by Heaven Enough Designs. The artwork is by Alexandra Daub, I think. Yeah, I was a bit confused there for a bit, but yeah, this came up for its rotation. So once again, I needed another 1,000 stitches. Let me show a picture of what it looked like last time here. And this is where I got to. So this project is stitched on a 28 count, a light blue linen. I'm stitching 1/1 4 crosses. Needleminder is from Denka Designs. And basically pages 1 to 4, so the first row of pages is done, and page number 5 is done as well. For the rest of the pages, I go through the pages, and the highest stitch up left to right on each page, I'm stitching in that color for one length of thread, and then I move on to the next page, do the same thing until I'm done with all the remaining 7 pages, and then I start back up. This time around, for my 1000 stitches, I did one length of thread on all of the pages and a second length of thread on page 6, so my first page. So basically you see progress everywhere. If I remember correctly, I did quite a lot in here of that on this ring, basically around the inner parts of the clock, and a lot in her dress over here as well, and all the rest as well, but there I'm not really sure where exactly. But she's coming together, she's looking really good, and I can't wait to stitch on her some more, because it would be really nice to finish her sometime soonish this year. Yeah, she looks amazing. Can't wait to get back to her. Really can't wait to get back to her. Yeah, that was that. And then it basically was the weekend. Which project did I stitch on now? Okay, I'm super confused. It's been 2 weeks. I really have to look it up. It's amazing that I really can't remember anything. It's not that long. I remember that. So next, it was already Sunday, and Sunday is my focus on a finish day. So every Sunday, I choose basically one project where I either am close to finishing a page, a color, anything like that, or actually the actual project, and focus on that project for that day, not counting any stitches, just getting some specific progress into a project where I think it would really benefit from that. So last Sunday, I did stitch on Norwegian Ship Under Sail. This is the small edition. There's a bigger one on the Golden Kite website because it is from Golden Kite. And on this one, I was really close to finishing page number 4. I really wanted to do that, so that's why I picked this project for focus on a finish. I did that, and then for last week, or for the next few projects on my rotation, there was first one other project called, and then this one. So this is actually now the project I'm stitching on for my rotation. I have not yet finished my 1000 stitches, so I stitched on it, I think, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. Every day about 50 stitches. And I now have about 150 stitches, and today I'm going to continue stitching on this one to get to my 1000 stitches. So let me show you a picture of what it looked like last time here. And this is where I'm at. So let me show you everything here. As I said, I was really close to finishing page number 4 last time you saw this, which is the reason I took it as my focus on finish. So that is the thing I did a week ago on Sunday, finishing off that column, meaning I finished off that page. That Sunday I had not a lot of time, and basically I had, I think, 1.5 hours, and that was just enough time to finish that page. So it was perfect. And now that I'm starting my rotation on this piece again, I'm going in diagonal pages. So I went onto this page and started in the next column down here. So about 150 stitches already done. I am picking my part threads from the bottom, working upwards. And yeah, so a few part threads down here are already done, and now I'm working my way up. 1000 stitches means I finish that column and start in on the next one. So that's really nice. This is stitched on an 18 count antique white Ada. I'm stitching 2/1 4 crosses, needleminder from Denka Designs, and it looks amazing. I love this project. It looks so good. It's a pain to stitch, but it looks so good. So yeah, really nice, really, really nice. As I said, I'm still in the middle of my rotation, so this will be the project I stitch on, as long as it takes me starting today. I do hope I finish until Wednesday, but that should be possible. So yeah, we'll see about that. That is Norwegian Ship Under Sail. And in between my focus on the finish Sunday for Norwegian Ship Under Sail, at the start of my rotation on Norwegian Ship Under Sail, there was one other project I stitched on. And that project was is the Chimney Sweep by Golden Kite. This is a project I stitched extreme cross country, and before I left for my work trip, I picked which projects I'm going to take, and the first one for my rotation that got chosen was this one. So I decided I need one more. It was Norwegian Ship Under Sail, and I was sure that those 2 projects would be enough. So I took those 2 and all the colors I needed for that. As I said, I stitched this one extreme cross country. So I took the color that I was presently stitching on and 2 more. And I didn't realize the first color that I was presently stitching on was a blended color, and one of the bobbins did not have a lot of thread left over on there. So of course, while I was there, when I had around 500 stitches, I ran out of the color. I thought about searching around for a shop where I could get it. I did a bit of Googling and stuff, and I did not find anything. At least, or especially not something where I would be there super fast and not lose hours over hours in searching for a thread. So I decided to leave that color half undone and start in on the next one, finish my 500 stitches, and then put the project away. So I did that. And when I came home, I decided I want to finish that first color. I want to have it clean. So yesterday, Focus on the Finish Sunday was focusing on finishing that first color. I did not finish, even though I should have, with going extreme cross country. So that's the project I stitched on yesterday as well. And it took me, I think, another close to 1,000 stitches to finish that color. Probably around, maybe 700 to 800 stitches. A lot of stitches to finish that color. So there's a lot of progress on this piece. So let me show a picture of what it looked like last time here. And this is where I got to. So it looks amazing. I'm so happy with that. Basically, that first color was a lot in here, over here, and I finished a few confetti stitches in the rest of the design. And the next color I picked, because I picked the colors on the first page. I go down in columns, pick the first color not yet stitched, top to bottom, left to right, and then stitch it over the whole piece. So once again, I picked that next color in the same fashion, and I did a lot in here, I think, with that color. So yeah, it looks amazing. The building is really starting to take shape, and I'm very excited about that. It is stitched on a 25 count light blue even weave. I'm stitching 2 over 1/10 stitch, needleminder from Denka Designs, and it looks so good. Yeah, I love this. After Mini Cinderella is done, this is probably the one I'm trying to focus on for a finish. Probably not going to happen this year, but it looks so good. Yeah, and the top half, basically the halfway point is somewhere around here, maybe here. So the top half is really taking shape. And you can start to see him sitting there. So that's the figure, basically. His head, his back, the tool on his back, and then his legs dangling down here, which is pretty cool. So, yeah, that's nice to see. Yeah, that's that. That's everything I stitched on. So, as I said, it's been 2 weeks, and I feel like it's not that much of progress because I did not stitch on a whole lot of projects. But I think it's actually kind of fine, especially because the last 2 weeks were super busy. Yeah, I think it's fine. Now let's move on to plans. As I said, I'm going to continue stitching on Norwegian Ship Under Sail to finish my rotation on that one, finish the 1,000 stitches. Hopefully managing that until Wednesday. because on Thursday I have a new start planned. I wanted to do 12 new starts this year, or at least 12 new starts this year, one every month. And for February, it's a special project. My grandpa died on the 9th of February 2022. So on Thursday, that's going to be a year. And I want to stitch something to remember him. So I kind of already knew, or I knew which project I want to take. And over the last few months, I then decided more and more on the project I want to do. So I wanted to do a cod, so the fish, for him, because he had this poem. It was his favorite poem for all the German speakers out there, Der Kabeljau. Ich glaube bei Heinz Erhardt. Ich bin mir gar nicht sicher, aber ja. So he has this poem and he loves it, and basically every time or every second time you saw him, he would recite his poem. It's super short, it's kind of dumb, but also kind of funny, and he just loved it. It was amazing to see the joy in his eyes when he recited the poem. So I want to stitch a cod for him. So I searched on the internet for some pictures and I converted it via Pictopat. I think it's fine because I'm only using it for myself. I still feel a little bit bad about showing it here, but yeah, I'm still going to show it. So I put it in Pattern Keeper, as I said, converted it with Pictopat, and then put it in Pattern Keeper, and that's the project I'm going to stitch. Basically, I'm not going to stitch the background, so I end up with around 12,000 stitches or something like that, which is a lot, considering it's just outlines, but I think it will look amazing. So the fabric I chose is actually one that Kaylee 10 Stitch, I'm going to link her below, sent me. She has a Flosstube video as well, and she has a shop, which is called The Sewing Shop, and you can find it with this address. So probably 1.5 years ago, something like that, she sent me a package with a bit of fabric, and one of the fabrics she sent me is the perfect one for this project. It is a 55 count. 55 count. I decided I'm going to put it this way, so this point is up. She also sent me that needle minder. So that's going to be my fabric for my cod. Still have to iron it, but otherwise I can start. I'm still thinking about, or I will for sure put my grandpa's details in the project. So those will end up around here. But I'm still thinking about putting or stitching the poem as well, which would work because she did not only send me that big piece, but a smaller piece as well. I think something like that. So I could put the poem on that one. Maybe as a future project, not sure. But so far, that's going to be the fabric I'm going to use. And for a thread, I decided to on DMC Color Variations 4150, which is that one. And I think that will work really good on this fabric. So I ordered a second skein of that one, and I'm going to stitch it 1/2 full crosses. So that's going to be started on Thursday. Really looking forward to it. Also not really looking forward to it because then it's been a year without my grandpa. So mixed feelings about that new start, but I really feel like I need to do something for that day. So starting a new project and concentrating on that is probably a good idea. So that's going to happen on Thursday. After that, if I'm not yet done with Norwegian Ship, I'm going to finish that. And then I have 2 more projects in my rotation that have not yet been called. So I'm going to stitch those, finish off my rotation. And then I'm going to do both WIPGO goals before I restart with my boxes and restart my rotation basically. Also for the cod, I'm doing at least 1,000 stitches. If that takes me more than one day, I'm still going to do at least 1,000 stitches. And on Sunday, this Sunday, I'm going back to Mini Cinderella to focus on a finish on that project. Okay, now WIPGO. February's numbers got called, and the first number is 500 stitches in green. I thought about it for quite some time, and I would find projects where I could stitch on green and basically spread it out. But I decided against that and decided to go with my raspberries. Those leaves up here aren't finished yet. I think a bit of the greenery above those raspberry is not yet finished. And all the rest of the stitches will then be stitched in that or that leaf. So 500 stitches in green on that one. And then I have, for the second square, WIPGO square for February, I have 1,000 stitches on a fancy lady. I don't have any Mirabilia, John Elliott, or anything like that started. So I don't have a real fancy lady, but I have a few full coverage projects where it's just, or the main focus is on the lady. One of those I really want to finish. Mini Cinderella! I'm doing another 1,000 stitches on that one for my second WIPGO square. I'm pretty sure that's not going to happen this month. Considering I want to finish Norwegian Ship, do 1,000 stitches on my new start, and have 2 more projects where I need 1,000 stitches each, and then focus on a finish Sunday. So that's going to happen further down the line, but it's my first video in the new month, so I thought I would share that with you. So yeah, that's that. That's everything I planned for and everything I want to do. So I hope you enjoyed the video, and I will be back next Monday. Should happen. So I will see you then. Bye.